Ramajit Singh, Desi.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I was proud to add my name to new Clause 8, led by my honourable friend the member from Streatham, regarding the abolition of excessive fees being charged to children, and I hope that the government accepts it. But overall, Mr Deputy Speaker, this Nationality and Borders Bill is a deeply flawed bill, driven by ideology and destined to have lasting and catastrophic consequences. If it is intended to make our system of citizenship and asylum fairer and more humane, it does the opposite. If it is intended to smash the evil gangs who trade in human lives, it does the opposite. If it is intended to end the heart-rending tragedy of people dying in the icy waters of the English Channel, it does the opposite. If it's intended to make our borders secure and make us safer, it does the exact opposite. Yet the government ploughs on with their hostile environment without thought for the devastating impact that it may have. Ministers have been warned by experts and academics that the bill undermines the UK's commitment to the 1951 Geneva Refugee Convention and much more besides. Given the weight of evidence against the government's approach, one might wonder why they persist. Why indeed? Mr Deputy Speaker, the removal of ethnic minorities from these islands has been a long-standing fascist demand. On the streets where I grew up, it was translated into something more straightforward and visceral, chalked up on walls or shouted through letterboxes: send them back. Now, this government is hanging the sword of Damocles over our heads. If you go and do something wrong here, or something perceived to be wrong by the nation of your ancestral heritage, you could be stripped of your citizenship and ordered to go back home. Now, this right-wing rhetoric returns in the Nationality and Borders Bill in front of the House this afternoon. And let's be blunt, Mr Deputy Speaker. It won't affect your good self because of the colour of your skin. But it will impact people like me because of the colour of our skin, of our ancestral heritage. And what's even more galling, Mr Deputy Speaker, is that the Prime Minister is getting someone with brown skin colour to do his dirty work, with a bill that could have disastrous consequences for black and brown people. No wonder there are accusations of tokenism from within the Asian, African and Caribbean British communities. What's the point of having black and brown people as cabinet ministers sitting on those Conservative front benches if they are going to directly act against the interests of black and brown people, just so that they may hold ministerial office? When the military government of Myanmar disempowered ethnic groups by removing their citizenship, many of us shuddered with horror. But people are now frightened, Mr Deputy Speaker, that this Home Secretary can remove their citizenship at a stroke, can do so retrospectively and without any notice.